Hi everyone, I'm Harold.
And I'm Brayden.
And we're here to talk
Trikes.
trikes. Today we are going to be covering some of your most common questions before getting a trike, when you have a trike, and kind of what to expect. Brayden, we're going to dive right into it.
Yeah.
And one of the most common questions that I get when people are purchasing a trike is, how do I service these?
How do you service them? This is going to sound like a stupid answer, and I mean no offense to it. It is a bike.
Mhm.
It is a bike with 3 wheels. We added another wheel to them. So all of your brakes,
Mind-boggling.
your shifting, your drivetrain, chain, all of this is bike components.
Right.
So a competent bike shop can absolutely service these, no problem.
Granted, you have a lot of bike shops that'll be scared off because it's just not something they can carry. Again, a competent bike shop shouldn't be too scared of that. They should be able to take a look at this, be like, this is chain, brake cables, and everything like that.
And I
can
very
work on
much,
this.
I'm glad you said competent, because I used to say any bike shop. It does require a competent bike shop. More specifically, a good bike mechanic.
Absolutely.
Can take care of it.
And of course, there are plenty of instruction manuals out there on how to service a bike. YouTube has a great community of a lot of bike people that are all about servicing. Watch a lot of those, and if you feel confident enough in your skills, try and tackle it yourself. There's nothing on there that'll be too complicated for you to fix yourself.
Right.
The next common question I get for our motorized riders: if I have a motor, how do I operate it? How do I make it work?
Yeah. Motors, I think, are an enigma to most people that have never experienced riding with a motor. Right.
Absolutely.
I don't think they
Motors in general feel like a very new bike world thing, like with how common they are now, and a lot with like the lithium ion Bafang batteries we're using. They're kind of
a motor system, in the simplest terms, makes it easier to move. Right.
Yep.
So in both, Bosch, Bafang, Shimano, all of these are going to offer pedal assist. That's the term we're going to use. And all that means is it's going to help you pedal. It's going to assist
you while you're pedaling.
Right. So, and some of those do it in different ways. And we're not going to get super specific, but Shimano and Bosch do a torque sensing pedal assist, which just means that as you apply pressure, it's sending pressure back.
Yep.
It's hard to understand these terms, though, until you're sitting down and riding on them.
Right.
Until it really clicks for you. Right. Whereas the Bafang motors we carry, their pedal assist is cadence sensing. And those that are familiar with cadence know what I mean by that. But once you get a rhythm going, it's supposed to understand that rhythm and provide the power for you to maintain that rhythm.
Right.
And then, of course, the Bafang units, while we're talking about them, not only offer pedal assist, but they also offer a throttle.
Right.
And the throttle, I think, can confuse a lot of people. All that really means is that if you push that throttle down, it's going to supply power for you to that back wheel.
Right. You can still pedal while you're doing that power, but it's your pedal assistance is gone. You just are running the trike without having the need to pedal, and the motor's just going to spin for you.
Right, and that's the other question you get, right? Can I use the throttle and still pedal? Absolutely. You can use the throttle whenever you want.
Right.
No pedaling. You could use the pedal assist and throttle if you want to. It'll be a little overkill. You won't even feel it.
Right.
But the throttle is just there if you ever need the assistance, you've got it.
Right.
And I like that. I mean, that's the motor I've got on my trike. So if I needed to get around and, God forbid, something happened to my leg, I'm going to be a huge fan that I have a throttle to get me back home.
It's nice to have. And the thing has that.
Whereas a strictly pedal assist still requires you to work at pedaling.
Right. In simplest terms, when it comes to operating these things, they're going to have a computer display and a battery. Become familiar with how that battery turns on. Become familiar with how that display turns on. It'll typically just be a power button, and then that's how you're going to run your whole motor. Not too bad. The next question I have might seem simple, but it's one we're asked quite often. How do I steer these trikes and quads?
Sure. And if you were unfamiliar in looking at them, I totally understand having the question, right? It is akin to tiller steering for the most part. So, if you're sitting in the recumbent tadpole trike, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have your steering poles that come up from your tires. They'll be right here, your left and right, and you'll just push and pull like this, right? As I push this hand forward, this hand's going to come back, which are going to make my wheels angle that direction.
Right. You have a tie rod connecting these wheels, so if you turn one handlebar easy enough, the other wheel's going to
turn. It'd be evil if we took that tie rod out and you could control both wheels independently. Your trike would move sporadically, and you'd probably break something, honestly. and your alignment would be off. Your tires where it's going to be horrendous. So it looks complicated. It really isn't.
Yeah, once you get into it, it's easy enough to learn. You just got to get your hands on the handlebars, move your arms a little bit, and you'll become familiar with it in a minute.
And of course, we do have some Delta trikes that still have traditional over-the-handlebar seat steering that work just the same way as a bike does. But for the most part, all of our trikes are going to be that tiller steering.
Especially on our quads too. Those are
all of our quads.
Those are tiller steering. Perfect. Another question that we get pretty common is, how do I get in and out of the trikes? A lot of these trikes are really low to the ground. Of course, sometimes you just have to do a really deep squat and trust that you're going to end up in the seat. We do have accessibility aids to help you have some leverage, or if you have horizontal handlebars, you can use those to get in and up. I've seen it happen enough to where you can, even if you have your wheels locked in the front, you can use the wheels to get up in and up and out. A lot of the trikes will have the derailleur post that comes up and then a horizontal bar that you can use for mounting lights and whatnot. You can also grab onto that and use the leverage to pull yourself up. You just got to be careful that you're not going too fast, otherwise you might lift the trike up over you and that can cause issues. But the hardest part is getting into it and going on that deep part. So if you have a trike that can get grab handles or easy entry aids, get those. Even if you feel pretty confident already, they're nice to have, even for adding accessories onto them. You have more places to put more stuff on, which more stuff is always great, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have nothing else to add. I think that answered the question perfect.
Wonderful. Another question we get is, where can I ride these trikes and quads?
Where can you ride these? This probably goes hand in hand with another question we got in a previous Trike Talk, but really anywhere a bike can be ridden. Anywhere that you'd see a bike,
Anywhere
you
you
can
ride a
trike.
bike, you can ride these. Of course,
And a quad.
They take up a little bit more space, so if you're riding on a single track, just be mindful that you might have some...
There's not a lot of single track you should probably take these on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to preface
Make sure you have wide. Rails to trails are great places to go. Lots of paved trails are going to be fine. Just, do a little bit of research about where you can take these trikes, and then you can go from there.
And furthermore, when you're talking, like, where can I take this trike now that it has a motor?
Yeah, exactly.
Now that I've added a motor, where can I not take it?
It's a little bit more complicated. You'll have to look up at your local bike registry and like your national park foundations of what class of motor you can get. Then you'll talk to us about, hey, I'm looking for a class 1 motor. That'd be like a class 1 motor would be like the Bosch, or the class 2 is the Fang 750 and things like that. So just, before you're going out and riding, if you're planning longer rides, look at the local laws and then just do a little bit of research.
Each state has their own legality on electric motors on a bike.
It's all confusing. It's all different, but it's easy enough to find. You just got to look on Google.
And I am not telling anybody ever to break the law or ignore these rules. I have never been stopped. I have never ran into the bike police.
Right, with any motor we have.
My biggest recommendation, don't act like you need to be stopped. Don't ride recklessly.
Right.
Don't go out there and try to get stopped, because you will be. Someone will stop you.
Be respectful, and you'll be respected.
That's kind of my thought.
Easy
but
enough.
I am from Utah. We're really relaxed down here on our bike laws.
Yeah, we don't have issues.
Take that in consideration. Check with your local state. Check with your
Check with your local authorities.
Yeah,
on the
local
bikes.
authorities.
Okay, and then a more of a general question is, what kind of cost should I be expecting when I'm looking at a trike?
It's
very broad.
Very broad and very general, and a very broad and general answer, right? Trikes kind of range from all prices. My cheapest recumbent tadpole, not even to give a number, I can't talk specifics on these videos because prices are always changing. But you can get into recumbent trike under $2,000.
Yep.
Right, under $2,000. And of course, sky's the limit. How much custom do you want?
Yeah, how many custom you think you're gonna have to pay for it? But if you want to get something that's gonna be crazy, flaunty,
just like cars, I can get into a used car for cheap. I can go buy a brand new Mercedes for a lot.
Yep.
So it's the same deal.
Of course, if you're not sure about what you should expect for a budget, just give us the basics of what you're looking for, and then we can kind of
Working with people's budgets is what we do.
Absolutely.
That's our job.
Doing it.
And we do offer financing. So if you're interested in financing, that is on the website.
Yep.
So
18 months, 0% interest.
It's always there.
Oh, yeah. How do I stay safe while riding? Visibility is a big concern of mine.
Sure. There's a lot of steps to take. I mean, especially like in a recumbent tadpole, some of the deltas, they're very low to the ground. We mentioned earlier about the seat height being a problem. Sometimes, taking the necessary steps to make it easier to get in and out. You have the same thing to do with safety, right?
Right.
So some trike brands are kind enough to throw in a bike flag and a bike mount.
Yep.
I think that these are necessities, right?
should get that
Especially if you're going to be going on the road. You need something to hang up high.
Goes above you, goes above eye level for a car.
Don't worry about being a little annoying. That's what you need to do. It is a safety concern. Right. So get a big bike flag. I always tell people I don't ride the motorcycle without the lights on. So even if you don't do nighttime riding, turn your headlight, turn your tail light on, get something bright and obnoxious that flashes, let everyone know you're there. I would even say it's a good idea to get an air horn or a bell, something to ding, unless you got a good yelling voice, and you're happy to yell at people.
There you go.
But being seen, being heard, these are your big concerns for safety.
That's one thing to keep in mind as well, without even getting into any of the accessories. Try your best to not go into high traffic areas with a lot of congestion or high traffic times. You don't want to go riding out at rush hour when everyone's trying to rush home and they're not thinking clearly. They're just trying to get off their workday or get to their workday. Go before or after rush hours and keep an idea where people are going to be having the most congestion.
There's definitely a sweet spot on when you can be out on the road.
Yep.
While we're on the topic of safety, because we get asked a lot, and I dislike the question to a degree, and we give mixed answers all the time. Does the color of my trike matter? Should I get something bright and flashy?
No. I mean, when it comes down to it, the color on the trike is what's going to be seen only by you. If you think about it, you're going to have some part of the trike that's going to be seen by other riders, but most of what's going to be seen by a car or by another bike rider is going to be that big lump of person sitting in the middle of that.
The best thing I can do when I sit on a trike is make sure I'm not wearing my work shirt. If I sit on there, this black Utah Trikes shirt on my purple frame trike, you will not see me.
We're going to blend right in. You want to have a high-vis vest. You want to wear high-vis bike clothing. That's the best thing you're going to be doing, because guess who's taking up the most space on the road? You on the trike.
Right. I think that there is a conversation for both ends. I'm not saying don't buy the color, of trike that's bright.
Color would definitely help.
It helps.
Bring it out, but get the color you want.
That's what I always tell people.
Yeah.
I love a good colored trike more than I care about a high visibility.
Just be in mind, you have to take it on yourself, and that you're wearing visible clothing and you're being visible yourself.
Right.
Another question: are there people in my area that ride trikes?
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I'm sure we ship everywhere. We're shipping everywhere all the time.
Across the whole world now. I think the best thing you can do to find out is reach out on the recumbent trike Facebook groups, the cat trike group, the basic recumbent bike group. Go on, look at our YouTube videos, ask us on our newsletter. Be like, hey, I'm looking for people to ride in my area, and we can help you connect. It's still a niche kind of bike group setting, but there are still burgeoning groups out there, and it's just becoming larger and larger every year.
If anybody in your local area knows about the trikes, it's the bike mechanics.
Yep.
So
ask them.
Give the bike shops a call. Hey, has anyone brought this trike in? Do you know if they ride anywhere specific? They're out there. I know they are. Yep. I always tell people they're like glasses. Once you start wearing glasses, you start noticing how many people wear glasses.
Exactly.
Once you have the trike and are riding trikes, you'll go, oh, they were all over. I just didn't know.
Yep.
I didn't notice before.
Fair enough. And then another one is, are there any local dealers in my area?
This question goes hand in hand with the last question. Maybe, probably.
You can look it up a little bit easier than it would be for finding other trike riders. CATRIKE has a dealer locator. HP has a dealer locator. I'd start there, and then most likely they're also going to be in general recumbent trike servicers and dealers for any sort of recumbent trike there.
Right. A lot of that's going to be through there. For more of this specific, Revolution E-Quads, that is our brand.
Yep. UT Custom is our brand. UT Custom and Revolution is our brand. That's
unfortunately,
in-house.
I currently only have the one location. Right. We have the one location. Yep. It is in Springville, Utah. And I was like, I can't manufacture and produce and sell in every state. Not right now, anyway. So
someday in the future, Utah Trikes 3000.
I've only got the one location. and I'm not super familiar with what is going to be in your area.
Yep.
You know, I love the one place I'm at.
Yep. Easy enough to do your own research. Of course, you can always ask us, and we can kind of point you in the right direction of where to find dealers. Insurance. Is there any insurance is there any insurance that I can get for the trikes?
Not every insurance company is going to have a bike/trike insurance, but some will.
Ask around. Ask your broker.
Yeah, call your insurance broker, see what he can do for you. I know I don't have any specific insurance companies in mind. I just know recumbent trike riders that have their trike insured. I learned recently, a customer, she came by today.
Yeah.
She has theft insurance on her trike, which I know is rare. So I know it exists.
Heck yeah.
You just have to find it.
All these trikes are going to have serial numbers as well, so you can get those registered with the local police as well, let them know what you have, and then also you'll need that for your insurance.
Right.
Another question, do I have to assemble these if I'm getting it shipped?
If you get it shipped from us, we will likely,
We'll
almost every
assemble it.
time we assemble it. Unless you picked a specific model that
There's
we
like
say,
a couple models here that we have kit shipping on, that we don't send those assembled, but everything else here we're going to send fully assembled with all of your accessories on them and ready to ride.
a great big casket fridge-sized box that we put the fully assembled
And
quad
we have a
trike into.
video of the shipping process. The boxes are a lot larger in person.
They're big.
Huge.
Yeah, they are big, but they do ship fully assembled. There might be some adjustments that are necessary. Like when you get the trike, we're good, but I don't know where you're going to want your seat. I'm pretty good at guessing where you want the handlebars.
Right.
But these are, again, comfort things that will have to be adjusted while you're riding.
Exactly.
So everything else we can do, right? One of the last things I tell people, last thing we do is put air in the tire.
Yep.
We throw air in the tire, throw it in the box, and ship it. So
Exactly. Do you ship to X country?
yeah, probably.
Yeah. It's expensive.
I was like, if you want us to ship outside of country, we can. We do it all the time. We have to run shipping quotes for it. It's going to highly depend where you're located and how much that's going to cost. I won't be able to tell you after you ask me. I'm going to have to get a shipping quote for it.
Yep.
So if you're interested in getting a trike and you're out of country, yeah, we could probably get you something.
Yep.
Just send us an email, give us a call, give us some time. It takes a little bit to get shipping figured out. So we can get back to you with a quote.
Absolutely. Work that out for you. How much does shipping cost in general for like the States?
Yeah, and that's kind of goes hand in hand with the last question. Each model of trike and quad is going to cost a little different on shipping, right? Low end being like $200, high end for some of our quads, $800.
Yep.
It's going to really come down to size and weight. So if you're buying a heavy quad, it's going to be a little bit more. If you're buying a lightweight trike, it's going to be a little less.
If you don't know, just ask us.
It is listed on the website. You can find it on the website.
Can't find them, but if you can find it, just give us a call or email. We'll be happy to tell you.
Yeah.
And finally, where can I learn more about Utah Trikes and quads?
You guys are already here.
There you go. You're watching it. Watch our Trike Talks. We have plenty of videos previously and a lot more upcoming. Take a look at those. These are great places that we take a lot of the questions that you guys give us, and a lot of you experienced or beginner riders. We talk about them here. Our articles on our homepage at utahtrikes.com are filled with great information, either from our experience here working here and from other trike riders as well. Our newsletter that we do every Friday that is run by Hannah is amazing. We have actual firsthand accounts of how trikes have helped people with their lives. Other than that, we have tons of other YouTube videos. The series that Ashley's running right now, the comparison videos, are great if you're looking for more of those head-to-head comparisons.
And even just to not talk about us, there's tons of recumbent groups.
Of course.
Talk
to local dealers, get an idea from them. Of course, everyone who's in the scene loves to talk about it. This is an awesome community to be a part of. And of course, we want to encourage you guys to continue the discussion here. What questions do you have that we might not have covered here? Leave them in the comments below. Send us an email. Go to our live help on our website. Ask us there. We're happy to cover these and get you guys the questions you so desperately want answered. Other than that, remember to like this video. Share it to anyone you think who might be interested. Leave a comment below if you have any questions or ideas for Trike Talk videos. And remember, what should we remember to do?
Always remember to relax, spin fast, and enjoy trikes.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you.